to Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. We have a scent of the month every month, and we're rolling into April. So for April, we have honeysuckle as our scent of the month. You get 25% off everything in that fragrance in our shop, and I'm sure you'll find other sale items as well. We did add a new special in the shop. We had previously had the buy two get one free lip balm. Well, we now have a buy two get one free on our 4-ounce lotion. So you can get 3 bottles for the price of 2. There's a special item in the catalog for that, so you have to go and select your 3 lotions there to get the special pricing. It should be right at the top of the list when you go into lotions. So I'm sure you can stock up and keep your hands nice and moist, and or feet or wherever you're using it. It's hand and body. You put it wherever you need it. So
You're going down a slippery slope.
Yeah, I know. I'll just end it right there. So I want to welcome new and returning viewers. Thanks for joining us today. We got a couple items on the agenda.
And those include farm happenings, Farmer's Almanac, In the Coop, Flun the Coop, Squeal Like a Pig, and Roundup.
All right, so farm happenings. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay, well, we're rolling into spring break, and both Jimmy and I have this next week off. I started doing some of my list of things that I've got a mile-long list of things to do for my week off, but I just finished tractoring all the weeds in the back half of the property. I'd done the front half, and I mentioned that a week or two ago, and so I got out and tractored out the back half of the property, which is a majority of the property. It's probably 3 or 4 acres back behind there that I was tractoring. So you knock down the weeds, make it look a little nicer, keep the snakes away from the house, all of that. So got that all done and wrapped up. But I do have a list of other things that I'll be working on over the next week as I'm got some time to do my household items. So, but that's the joys of spring break. And then Don and I, we've had a rough week this last week with Fuji, but there's a little bit of humor in there in that we were taking Fuji down. She was having a hard time taking Fuji down for
Wednesday. You stayed home
Wednesday.
from work.
Yeah, I stayed home.
Monday was a holiday for you, so you were home.
I was home Monday, home Wednesday, because I took that off because Fuji had been ill, and we took her down, and then I had to take Friday off as well. So it's like, and it's been, and you would,
spring break.
Yeah, now I have spring break, so it's been, and but anyways, we'll get to Fuji in a bit. But we're taking Fuji down on Wednesday. Don gets a phone call from Jimmy, and he's like, the bell on the well house is ringing.
And see, I could barely hear him because it's not just a bell.
It's a fire alarm bell on our water tank. We have a storage tank, and 60% of that water tank is there for fire because we have fire sprinklers in our house, and we have our own fire hydrant because we're away from county supplied water or any. There's no fire hydrants around us, so we have to store up enough water to put out a fire if there's a fire. Of course, we have fire sprinklers which should put it out, but we have to store a bunch of water. So there's actually a fire bell that when it dips below, the water dips below that point, the fire bell goes off and it tells us that we're, so this is the case our well goes out and we have a fire all at the same time. It's like if all the bad things could happen at one time, then it at least tells us that bad things are happening. So, but I had been adjusting the level on the sensors and stuff. I was been working on the pump house, doing the drywall and getting some stuff situated. I put a new switch sensor on there. I was getting it dialed in. Well, I hadn't quite got it dialed in completely. And so, of course, it's always when I'm away. the grass sprinklers had come on and run down the water, and it was running it down quicker than the well pump was filling, and so it actually dipped down, and so the fire. And so Jimmy's like, "What do I do?" Like, okay, just flip the breaker on the little water alarm. Problem solved. So I went out and I adjusted it, and it looks like it's so far so good. So it was kind of humorous because he was all panicked. He actually heard it, because you'd be surprised that the kid puts his headphones on, is playing his game. He can't hardly hear the parents when we're talking with them. So, but anyway, so that was a little bit of humor in our really rough week. I guess we'll get into that with the Fuji. Now, Fuji's our Applehead Chihuahua. She was diagnosed with lymphoma about
August 2013.
Yeah, so we're going on 20 months now, and so she's been going through chemotherapy with that, and has been responding well. And this last week had a really bad set of events that happened. So Tuesday night, she was having a hard time breathing, and Dawn was up with her pretty much all night. She was, and so we ended up taking her down to the oncologist on Wednesday, and so she checked her out and said, she needs fluids, and they gave her some medicine.
She ran ultrasounds.
Yeah.
She ran X-rays. She ran blood work. Another doctor ran ultrasounds on her.
Yeah, they basically ran through a whole bunch of tests, and what the results of those tests was she's got pancreatitis, which the oncologists say is probably unrelated to her.
Well, now she don't know.
Well, that's a difference. At the time, it's unrelated to her cancer or treatment. It's probably something she ate that's aggravating her stomach, because her stomach was really tender.
It was swollen.
Yeah, swollen and tender, and so they said, okay, well, we'll give her some medicine, and then
fluids there.
They gave her some fluids there, and she's like, well, it's 50-50 whether you leave her here or take her home. She just needs rest and fluids. Because with pancreatitis, you just got to keep them hydrated, and it takes time. So we opted to take her home because she's more comfortable here, and so we kind of did our thing there, and by the evening time she was getting more swollen up near her lymph nodes. Her lymph nodes started to really increase in size, and in the morning I had checked on her, and she was resting, but she was still swollen. I thought, well, I've got to go to work because I had some meetings to attend. And I guess when Dawn woke up and checked on her, her whole side of the face was getting swollen.
Yeah, the size of my fist was how big it was swollen on the side of her
like
face.
Like a chipmunk.
Yeah,
so
and she was just not moving.
Yeah.
Just laying. So we called the vet, oncologist again, and she said, bring her. And I was like, okay. So I drove her.
Usually I'm the one that does the driving, and like I said, it's an hour and 20 minutes-ish away if I'm driving.
That's with you driving.
And so you went down and you asked your mom to help you because someone has to hold Fuji. And,
I don't want her in a crate or anything because I didn't want her shaken because she's in pain.
Yeah.
So we get down there, and finally, you name it, the traffic was the worst in the 2 years we've been doing this. Dead stopped, not moving. But we finally get there, and she's having issues breathing again, and, not sitting up, she just laying, and, the oncologist got upset, and she goes, this is the time that we need to have the discussion. And I'm like, James isn't here. We can't have that discussion. James isn't here. So she actually took my phone and she called James and let him know what was going on. You know, do I make this decision right now because she is so bad? I mean, you know, she was in pain, not responding to anything. And I'm like, you know, at the very beginning we discussed we wanted to be there at the end with her. You know, we've gone through all of this with her. So I go, you know, is there something we can do until tonight that we can come back down here, you know, and be with her? And so that was kind of the first game plan, was just to keep her comfortable until we could get back down there together. And then the oncologist started thinking of things, how certain chemos she has responded to, and she goes, well, there's this one last chance. You know, it's not going to hurt her giving this to her, you know. So she goes, I can keep her here and run the chemo through her IVs, you know, and see how she does until tomorrow, and us go down and either there's a miracle happen or we're there to be able to be with her in her end.
And that's about the time I get the phone call then, because I get the phone call from work. Dawn says, here, talk to Dr. Tansey. And so she kind of gave me the rundown on what was going on. And, you know, my primary thing is if this isn't going to, if there's no hope in helping Fuji, I don't want to prolong that.
Yeah.
So she goes, no, this could help. You know, we'll put her on fluids. We'll get her in there. We'll start doing this chemotherapy on her, and we'll just have to play it minute by minute, you know, hour by hour to see how she responds. Because her face was swollen, and the lymph nodes were hard, and these are all really bad signs. So we said, you know, I said, if there's some hope and it doesn't put her into, you know, it doesn't cause her more pain than it's worth, let's go ahead and do it. Put her in the, you know, hospital there, keep her on fluids, you know, let us know how it's going throughout the day. And,
you know, and this even attests to how wonderful this doctor is. Not only did she let us know every couple hours, she sent pictures every couple hours updating, you know.
Yeah, so basically the plan from that point was keep her in the hospital, let her get fluids, do the chemotherapy, let it run through, and see if if Fuji can respond to it at all. And so we got pictures throughout the day. She started looking better, getting the fluids. You know, the way they were describing it, Fuji wasn't moving at all by the time she was dead. I mean, she wouldn't move on her own. I guess towards the evening time when the vet was checking on her, she got up and jumped into the vet's arms when she was checking on her. So she was feeling better, which was a good sign. And she even ate a little bit at that evening.
The vet, who is a vegetarian, went and bought her chicken. So
yeah, so she got some chicken. She was able to eat that because she hadn't been eating for about a day or day and a half before we took her down. I mean, it was because her stomach was hurting. So everything was looking good. And so we went back down Friday to have a discussion. You know, both Dawn and I could sit down and have the talk about, does it make sense or not to keep going. And by the time we got down there, Fuji was doing better. The swelling had subsided. They were saying that the swelling in her face was because the lymphatic system, it's like a pipeline of that, it's got blocked because of the lymph nodes getting swollen, and that's what caused her face to swell up. So when she got the chemo and the lymph nodes reduced in size, and she kind of got back to normal again. So you know, we were like, if she needs to stay an extra day, then we'll let her. And the oncologist says, no, she's eating and drinking. It's probably better to
get her out of the hospital.
Get her out of that, because she's probably more susceptible to, you know, other things if she's got a weak immune system from all of this. So just better to take her home. she can be with you, and she knows that Dawn monitors her all the time, so she wasn't too concerned about that, and so the decision was made to bring her home. So she's home. She's weak. She's acting more like her normal self, though, where she's
towards
begging.
Last night more.
Well, even this morning she was begging for food and stuff, but so it's the oncologist says she's getting to her,
she said she's in her end stages, that it's 2 weeks, that if this chemo had worked, it'll be 2 weeks
to maybe
2 months.
So.
But right now, even her being released Friday from the hospital, it was, let's get her through the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's a minute by minute, day by day. We're hoping to get her there Tuesday. That's right now is our goal, to get her to make it to Tuesday so she can get another chemo.
Get another round, get a checkup from the vet.
So she did say that, Fuji hasn't been sick with this, even from day one. That a lot of times these chemos that she has found, she was scared to give us hope, but yet she's also seen where dogs have been so sick and on their deathbed where
the chemo actually works better.
Better.
It works better when they're sick than when they're not. So, but like I said, she's kind of given us the, we're getting there towards the end. Don't expect a whole lot more time. Enjoy what time we have. So that's kind of where we're at with Fuji. I know she's a fighter, and but
she's here today because of the prayers. Yeah. And that's one thing I wanted to really, I wanted to really thank everybody. I know it's like, do I post the picture or just keep it to ourselves? And I thought, I know the more prayers that are coming for her, the more there is possible of the miracle, and so that's why I went ahead and posted on Instagram, and the prayers help her as well as us get through this, and the strength to be there for her. And I can't even thank you guys enough for the comments there, for the comments through emails, from text messages, through our Wolf Farms store site, getting emails, and there's no way I can even respond to all of these except to let you know how much that means to us. And even Courtney started in our Ravelry group a prayer chain for Fuji, and
yeah, you guys are great. We appreciate all the support and positive thoughts and prayers and everything to help help us through this, help Fuji, so it's gonna probably be a rough couple months, we'll see how much fight she has left in her, hopefully, we'd love a miracle where she's, and it's just back to normal and we get another year or two or more, but, like I said, we'll just keep our fingers crossed, and like I said, we'll deal with it day by day. Because right now, I feel bad. The vet gave us fluids to give to Fuji, and so they showed us at the when we were picking Fuji up how to insert the needle under the skin, and how so we've got that, and so I did it at the vet.
Because she felt comfortable because you're a diabetic and give yourself lots of shots. And
so it's like this will make sure that she's got fluids and stuff like that. And so this just goes under the skin, and we put IV under the skin, and the body absorbs it. So it keeps her hydrated. She's been drinking, but this is just it's got some medicine in there as well. So yesterday we were doing it first on our own, and I can give myself shots, it's no problem. It's no problem. And, I just get a little nervous doing it with Fuji, but it's to help her out. So
it's a lot bigger needle. Way bigger.
Well, but still, it's...
She's not just a dog to us. This is our daughter, so this...
Yeah, some people may not understand us for doing what we're doing, and some people absolutely understand it. And it all depends on on who you are and how, your thoughts on pets and animals and that sort of stuff. So Fuji's is part of the family, and so we are doing everything we can to help her out, but anyway, so yesterday, I had to go through this. So Dawn's holding her, and I'm getting, I get it in there, and we give her the amount of fluid and stuff. And after that, she was like, she didn't want nothing to do with Daddy. I mean, it was a while for her to she wouldn't even look at me. I'm like, Fuji, I'm sorry. This is for your benefit, not for mine. And we have to do that again today and tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll go down. But so yeah, I have to bring some treats with me, so next time I can distract her from the fact that I just given her a needle under the skin, and she kind of looks like a hunchback when you put all the fluids in, and so. But yeah, that was a little chuckle we got yesterday with her. She's like, she won't even look at me. I'm like, Fooch. So, but yeah, so she's hanging in there.
Well, you saw someone's blood sugar drop really quick.
Well, I don't like.
We had a Dr. Pepper, so Fuji's getting an IV. James is getting.
Well,
the IV
I get a little. It's Fuji. If I was me, I could do it. It's not.
See, you don't do well with anything happening to me. No. He literally eats it.
Thanks, hon.
Yeah.
Giving away all my secrets, huh? So, but yeah, so like I said, I have to do that again today and tomorrow, and we'll go down Tuesday, and hopefully,
as long as she's got enough strength to go Tuesday. So
yeah, we're in contact with the vet daily, and letting her know how things are going, and right now things are going well, and we may go down Tuesday or Wednesday, depends on, because we're going to go in and get another round of chemo is basically what's going to happen. So try and stay ahead of this as much as we can and keep Fuji healthy, and as long as it's not wearing on
the quality of life. Yeah. That's been our main thing. That's the parameter.
So if she has another bout like she had last week, then that's going to be it. So we want to make sure she stays comfortable, and is, like I said, it's a benefit for her and not for us. It's all about what's best for Fuji. So anyways, that long drawn out discussion of, our rough week, but at least you're updated on what's happened and kind of what we're doing. So
if there isn't a podcast, because for how many years now we've been doing this?
We've been doing it for...
This is our 4th year.
Quite a while.
Coming up on
We're coming close to 200.
We've never missed a podcast. Yeah. That is when, because I'm going to shut down.
Yeah.
Almost this one did not happen, but...
Yeah. So, like I said, if we'll get some word out to you if things go bad, but at this point in time, they're not there. We're not there yet, and we'll keep holding out for, like I said, good response from the chemo, good, response from Fuji and her immune system, and staying ahead of this. So that's about it.
Thank you for doing the talking.
You're welcome. See, we got just in case. So, okay, love you.
I love you. See, now you're good.
So
we're going through lots of tissues.
Farmer's Almanac.
I can't read it now.
Change of subject. Farmer's Almanac.
Housey Yarn, Christine of the U University podcast. Ooh, got to get my brain thinking. Ask us. Thought of another question for you. You always seem to find the most beautiful yarns, and I was wondering if you've ever bought a yarn that you ended up hating or thinking it was ugly. And if so, what's the story behind it? Plus, could you show us a picture of it on the show? And I think I actually have shown this on the show before. At the time, I thought this was the coolest thing. I think it was right when I was learning to knit. And I think in 2007, up in Morro Bay, this is Surrey Alpaca, and from Morro Fleece Works, and it's 55 yards. And I paid $38, because there's the $38 for this. Okay, here it is. See, it doesn't look as bad on the screen. It looks like a dead animal, you know. I mean,
see, you use that for a weave. You have blue hair, honey.
Yeah. Forget knitting with this, you know. It's.
Yeah, I don't.
And you even let me bought this.
Probably, you know, got tied up in the moment. We actually went into the Morrow Fleece Works and we got a tour of their facility and them doing all the yarn. And I think we bought this to memorialize our visit there because there wasn't a whole lot of choice.
No.
What they had in the shop. But I think we bought this not out of thought, ooh, I can knit a nice scarf. I think we bought it to say, hey, this is a little souvenir from our visit to
I even have on my note here to make a scarf for this.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, yeah. You know, and I thought, oh, it'll go good with jeans and...
Yeah, so...
You know,
I remember us visiting. I mean... The lady that runs it is super nice. Yeah. You know, we've talked to her multiple times, but yeah, we did buy that. It looks like it came right off the animal and they slapped some dye on it. So, but getting it in your scarf there, Annie.
Yeah, I should. It probably wouldn't take that long.
No.
You know, I know Silly Fru's been knitting with chunky yarn, but.
Yeah, it's a little wild. Yeah, you have to get your wild.
It's like my dreadlocks, you know. You know, I still can't even imagine wearing that around. Well, I guess that wouldn't look like.
Well, it's soft. I mean, it's alpaca. It looks a little. It's like that fun fur, you know, stuff but it's
not even fun fur looks a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that. No, I've loved everything I've bought, and I can't think of.
Well, and even stuff you got gifted. I mean, so people I think know your taste, and you generally get gifted stuff that is right in line with what you like, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, this is pretty wild. This is I forgot about that. It's been hiding in the stash.
Deep down. And, yeah, I've gotten some other fiber when I started spinning too from her that I'm like, why and a huge bag of it, that purple. Oh. I think it's Suffolk or something like, and it's.
I think this all happened on the same trip. I think we went up and we got this.
I wasn't spinning then.
No, I think we went up and we stopped at the place where you got your spinning wheel, and we came back and we got your spinning wheel. I think that was all on the same trip.
With the fiber, not with this. This was way before that. That was like 3 years before I started spinning. Yeah.
But, yeah, they got fibers flying around, so pretty wild.
Yeah. So, but other than that.
So there you go.
Yeah, because I also don't try to buy yarn, you know, that I don't have a project already in line.
Yeah. Yeah, you're usually project specific. You don't buy a lot of yarn just to buy yarn. You usually have something you want to do, and you get the color and the name of the pattern has to match the name of the yarn. It's a whole science behind how Dawn picks her stuff. So, so yeah, I completely forgot about that. I remember stopping in there. It was
Well, you had fun seeing all the
equipment. Yeah.
So, in the coop, well, I have not, there's like 3-4 days that I did not even touch. I mean, Jimmy was even, go knit, and I'm like, I don't want to knit. I didn't even touch a needle. I didn't touch a hook. So, there's not much knitting to show, but I did work on my planter's punch. I think it's just been the past couple days. And that's a Thea Coleman design, paid for pattern on Ravelry. Show you the top of it. And I've been working on this. It's made with vintage, Barocco Vintage DK. in the raspberry colorway on size probably 5, 4 or 5. It's upside down. 5. And I'm somewhere.
You're doing the body.
Yeah, that's the back. But so I've done about a couple inches. It's where it's just knitting. So
you just go round and round
and round. Round and round. So I guess here's the front. It looks the same. Sorry.
It's okay. Didn't need that eye anyways.
Yeah. So it's, of course it's stuck in it, so it's gonna roll right now. So, yep.
Well,
so
pretty cool.
That's it. That's all the knitting.
That's still in the works that you worked on.
Yeah, that'll be in the works.
So you do have some flown the coop.
Yep. So flown the coop. I had done a couple. I think I did a couple heading down Friday of the preemie hats. There's 5 here. So this is for the Remembering Remy knit-along that Moms with Yarn's having. So, yep, that's all the same little yarn and 5 of them. I had another one done, but when I went to pull the top, it kind of yanked and the whole thing went. So, and I had it all the way done. I must not have had left enough tail and.
Yeah, I saw that. It was unraveling at the top.
Yeah, that one had to go in the trash. So 5 more for that.
Awesome.
And now Squeal like a pig. I've got a pattern gifted to me yesterday from Mad79, and it's the handbrake. It's just called handbrake. I'm assuming it's just a cowl. And it's by K.F. Jones, and it's a worsted weight pattern. It looks like the upstairs, downstairs cowls, what it looks like to me. Which that was a knitting pipeline. But it looks just like that cowl, so it's like...
Similar?
Mm-hmm. Has that same slant. So that was really cool. So thank you, Melanie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a package in the mail, and I think it came on the day that I took Fuji, but I didn't get it till...
I'm trying to think when that came. That came on Friday.
Okay, Friday.
Or was it Wednesday?
I don't remember.
This is how...
The days have gone together.
That was Wednesday, actually, I think.
Got a package. Yeah. A Thinking of You package, Easter package, and look at the cute card. Look at that sweet face. And this is from Sundaisy 920, and I left it in here just to show you, because look at when you open it up. How cool is that? So a whole bunch of Easter eggs filled with candy, which Jimmy will be glad that we're showing this.
Yeah, those Farmer Jim always appreciates
the candy.
The treat.
Yeah, and then there's some awesome tea. I love Celestial seasoning tea. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. I've never seen it in cute little packages like that either. Isn't it adorable? Mm-hmm. And then inside of this egg is a bonbon bunny. It's a no-knit Sherlock pattern. And Angie is awesome with these toys. And this is done out of the Fuji Fight Like a Girl colorway. And it's sparkly. I don't know if the sparkles are showing up. Isn't that the most coolest thing?
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, the timing, Angie. So, yep. Super cute. Look at the little bunny butt.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, that came at a good time.
Yep.
So.
She couldn't have even known to plan that. So, yep. So, thank you so much, Angie. That was
sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Put that all back into the...
Yeah. She does the packages so awesome. Mm-hmm. She's always sending packages and...
Very creative.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not creative. I'm like, stick this in a package, James.
That's why I'm known as the shipping department.
So are we to round up?
Yes, we are.
We have Hatchinette prizes. That's one of the main reasons we're podcasting. Do I need to show? I don't need to. Oh, yes, I do.
You got, you got stitch markers and Wolf Farm gift certificates to give away.
For our March Hatchinette. And yes, I ended that late, but everybody's they waited until I opened the new one. So for the Wolf Farm gift certificate, we give away 2 of those. They're $10 gift certificates to the Wolf Farm shop. And the first number was 207, which is MVA5493. And that is Valerie. So congratulations. Get in contact with me with your email and I can send you your gift certificate.
Okay. Congratulations.
And then the other winner was number 59, which is Knit with Coffee. And that is Vicky. So, and I looked at what they made and right now I can't think of it. I know one of them, come to think of it, I think both was socks. No, it wasn't. Valerie, I think, was the socks. Vicky was, I think it was the Mario Retro Lemons pattern. And then for the stitch markers, Jordan Dane 9698, she won the stitch markers and she had done socks.
Oh, okay.
So, because I was thinking socks. So I was like, oh, cool. So Jordan let me know your address. And for some reason, I thought she was in Arizona. She's in Texas. You wanted to know where Jordan lived. So these were donated by Felipa. They come clear from Portugal. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. I love these ones because they're pink. And I think Jordan has a pink chair, so I know she likes pink. So,
well, thanks for joining in that thread and posting up your finished.
It's always a dangerous thread.
Well, why?
Well, because you add so much to your queue, and and then I see Emilia. She, because it's sewing and everything. She had done this one knitting bag, and it's done. The material is granny squares. It's the most coolest bag.
Wow.
I was telling Sasha I want to sneak into her house and grab that bag and grab her granny square blanket she just made. It'd be a little mouse. And
yeah. So.
But yeah, it's so fun to see.
At least we're far away, right?
Yeah, she's clear across. Sasha's close to her. I could send her over there.
There you go, yeah.
Go to Amelia's
Mission
house.
Impossible.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so we just thank you for joining in. We have this Hatchinette every month, so you can put in any item that you finish up during that month in there, and you could win
that's spinning, weaving, sewing, crochet, knitting.
You could be like Valerie or Vicky or Jordan and get something for watching and participating. So I want to thank you for that. I want to remind you that we still have Don's moving stuff around on me. Our Wolf Farm Video Podcast button. You get one of these for free with any paid order at Wolf Farms. Just add that. Just mention it in the comment section that you like one. We'll be happy to stick one of those in your order when we do that. Don't forget we have the buy 2 get 1 free on our 4-ounce lotions. Every scent that we have in our catalog is available for that. So go to that special buy 2 get 1 free thing in our catalog, and you can select the 3 cents, and you'll only get charged for 2. So
pretty cool.
That's it. So stock up while you can, and you can try a whole variety.
What's the next holiday? It'd be Mother's Day. Right?
Mother's Day, yeah. Stock up and save. So I think that about does it.
I think so.
Yeah, we're ready for us to go rest. So
yeah. So until next time,
let's get cracking
and hatch
a net.
Bye, y'all.
Happy Easter.